Salute squad and welcome to the Goodbread Wrestling channel, also known as Figure 4 TV. Now a lot of you are here today because you clicked through the video where we was talking about Britt Baker and the comments Tony Khan made about Britt Baker. Well, also in that interview, he spoke about John Cena, Chris Jericho, Edge, and Andrade. So y'all check out the intro, and when we come back, we jump straight on into that interview.
Now, listen, at the end of the day, I'll be the first to admit, I'm just a wrestling fan. You were a wrestling fan as well. That's why you got into the industry. So I do have, I'm curious. People watching this are curious. I'm just going to bring up some names.
Sure.
And you just got to let us know what's up with them. We'll call that, what's up with so-and-so.
Sure.
So, first person I want to know, what's up with Adam Copeland? There's some rumors about him and you allowing him to do one more match and all these weird rumors. What's up with Adam Copeland that is not around?
I hope Adam Copeland has a lot more matches in AEW. Adam Copeland's a huge part of AEW. We just had a great AEW All Out event, and it was great for a lot of people, but in many ways, what should have been a great homecoming for Christian Cage and Adam Copeland was marred by FTR. FTR attacking Beth Copeland. They conducted themselves very unbecomingly, not sportsmanlike at all, and not the way to treat somebody who's been a friend of yours. And Adam Copeland's a huge part of AEW. Adam's out filming right now.
Got it.
He's a huge star in AEW. We love having Adam Copeland, the Rated R superstar, in AEW, and I'm excited for him to be back in AEW, hopefully soon after this project is done and he's taking care of business, and then Adam will come back and we'll get Adam Copeland taking care of the business in the ring in AEW.
Boom. So you guys heard it from the horse's mouth. Edge is off filming a movie, so we can stop with the rumors that he's on his way back to WWE to fight John Cena for one last match. It won't be Edge. And you gotta respect the way Tony Khan answered that question right there. He turned it and made it about AEW. You can't hate on Tony. You really can't hate on Tony. He a fool, and he got to get more experience, but you can't hate the man.
There's this weird rumor that, basically Adam Copeland is leaving AEW to do one more match with John Cena. That's why that question came up. But what's up with Andrade?
Andrade El Idolo was a great wrestler in AEW, and he left at the end of World's End 23, at the end of 2023. I gave, actually here in New York, a press conference at the Scrum, and I said, I think Andrade El Idolo is a great wrestler. He's leaving AEW on a very high note, and he's leaving on the best of terms. And all of that is true, and I have a ton of respect for him. And I can't say much more other than to say that I'm very excited to see what happens next with Andrade. I love the guy very much, and I have a lot of respect for him.
And he answered this question perfectly too, at least to the best that he could, because he know that he can't mention Andrade in the present. He can only mention Andrade in the past because of that non-compete contract that Andrade signed. And if WWE was to try to come at AEW have the resources to fight them on their bullshit. So this is why WWE, they trying to isolate Andrade by himself. But it's also reports that they want Andrade back now because they know that enforcing it, they can write whatever they want. They're allowed to write whatever they want in their contract. But to be able to enforce that, you're not going to be able to enforce that, not if you ain't paid a man. Now, if they would have paid Andrade, then Andrade would have been a fool to go over there to the AEW and try to get money while getting money from WWE. But again, Tony Khan very well rehearsed, and he knew exactly how to answer that one. He had to know that was going to be coming.
What's up with Britt Baker?
Britt Baker, Dr. Britt Baker, yep, DMD. And what a great star in AEW Dr. Britt Baker has been. And she is still a fantastic wrestling star. And she's been away from AEW for a while, but still very much with us. And at some point, hopefully soon, I'd love to see Dr. Britt Baker come back.
Now, guys, I know we did a whole video on Britt Baker. So you guys could wait to the end of this video and click into that, or you could just go straight on over to the channel and go click into that video and watch what we talked about Britt Baker, because she definitely ready to come back. And you see how sure and confident he was when he answered the Edge question about Edge coming. But you see how lackadaisical he was when he answered Britt Baker. Britt Baker fell out of good grace with this man. You know what I mean? Britt Baker was all he had in the beginning, and then he got better stars and better athletes that were readier than Britt Baker, such as Jade Cargill, such as Miss Monet, Tony Storm. I mean, the list goes on. So he no longer need Britt Baker, and it is what it is.
Hey, what's up with Chris Jericho?
Chris Jericho, talk about one of the founding figures in AEW, the very first ever AEW champion. We're so grateful to Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho is somebody also that I would love to see back in AEW anytime. The door is always open to get Chris Jericho back in here, and he's been busy. He's doing a lot of things. It's speaking of somebody that's very busy with projects, including filming and music, and somebody we have a ton of respect for. And Chris Jericho is somebody else we'd love to see anytime in AEW.
Now, this one was kind of tricky, but he did not answer it confidently like how he answered the Edge question. So that leads me to believe, especially when he say the door is always open, that leads me to believe that it's in Jericho's hand. It's not up to him, and Jericho might be out of there because there's nothing left for Jericho to do but job out. And I know Jericho have more pride in himself than to just job out to those type and that style of wrestling. So I can see Jericho coming back on over to WWE. I will see Jericho before I see Edge and John Moxley. I'll tell you that. I don't pretty much know what we gonna do with Jericho in WWE. I mean, but maybe turn him into a Paul Heyman. Maybe give Paul Heyman a run for his money on the manager tip. But other than that, I really don't see what we would do with Jericho as an on-screen talent. I mean, I know he got ideas out the wazoo, so backstage he'll fit right in. But on screen, I don't know. Y'all guys, put in the chat, what would you do with Chris Jericho in WWE?
Well, lastly, one of the final questions I have, I mentioned before, I'm a fan. You've been a fan your whole life. You still are, obviously. Now, this is a little out of the realm of what we discuss within All Elite Wrestling, but I think it has to be asked because it's a pretty big deal in the news of wrestling. What would you say is John Cena's legacy to pro wrestling as the fan Tony Khan?
Wow. I wasn't expecting that, but it's a great question. John Cena is absolutely a legendary pro wrestler who came into the space and became a huge star very quickly on television, because he has so much charisma and he's one of the hardest working people, as far as I know, in pro wrestling. I've never actually met John Cena, and I have a ton of respect for him as a wrestler. He seems like a wonderful person. Everybody I know that's worked with John Cena has only the very, very best things to say about him. And he's known for being the utmost professional. I think he's also a very, very talented actor. I'm a huge fan of the Peacemaker show on HBO Max. AEW Full Gear is presented by DC. DC being the presenting sponsor, we had a great partnership going with DC. So even though I've never worked with John Cena in any wrestling capacity, we are partners now with DC. So that may be as close as we ever get. But I think that he's absolutely fantastic in the ring, and he seems fantastic out of the ring. Certainly on screen, one of the all-time greats. And he came into the wrestling business after many of the top stars were either getting ready to retire or entering the final phase of their career, and he really stepped up as one of the biggest wrestling stars of all time. And even though I've never met him or talked to him, I have a ton of respect for him.
Tony always well-spoken, but when are you gonna get behind one character like John Cena? When are you gonna follow the John Cena blueprint, Tony? Because you over there in AEW trying to make everything fair. You must have a lot of crybabies in your locker room. You supposed to get behind one guy, and he's supposed to job everybody out. And the fans gotta like this guy, because this will be your larger-than-life superstar. You got to start creating larger-than-life superstars instead of trying to spread the wealth around with a bunch of normal guys, regular guys. Just because they flip and dip and all of that bullshit, That's that ballerina video game wrestling right there, guys. Tony, you got to find one guy. If it's going to be Hangman, then you got to ride the Hangman. We should be seeing Hangman everywhere. We should be seeing Hangman everywhere, and he should be beating everybody you put in front of him. And you should be having some heels, some real mean, vicious heels run through the roster, and then they get to Hangman, and Hangman put him down. That's how you supposed to book your wrestling, man. That's how you gonna get your larger-than-life star. But I don't know nothing. You know, we just content creators. Guys, put in the chat. Tell me what y'all think about the interview. What would y'all do to fix AEW? Do y'all even care enough to want to fix AEW? I love to hear what you guys got. Like, share, and if you're new over here, hit that subscribe button. And don't forget, for those of you that didn't see the Britt Baker video, you can click into the video right now. I'll see y'all later.
This is a wreck. He's moving like an uncaged animal.
No lie, he's wild in there.